So our next exhibit is over here. Our next exhibit is of course the common chimpanzee as well as gorilla exhibit, or more like western lowland gorilla. We have combined these two exhibits just because, well, I mean, they're pretty much the same animal. As you can see, these are both monkeys, of course, and they are mostly brownish and black colors, and they live in the lowlands because they're western lowland gorillas, of course. They're also very playful creatures, and they seem to enjoy pretty much any type of environment that is wet, kind of like a rainforest. As you can see, we also have a silverback gorilla here, which of course we named Silver. Next exhibit is right over here. If we follow this path, we're going to reach this ginormous lake, which seems to have absolutely nothing in it, but if we go up to the bridge, we can see that we have orcas. Orcas are called killer whales. They're not actually whales, because they are quite dangerous creatures and are quite avid predators in the ocean. Even though they're living in a lake trust, this lake is perfect for orcas. It's big enough. They've got seemingly interesting patterns, including these white patches on their eyes, which makes them look even scarier, but they're actually really cute creatures. We've also got a white orca. Our next exhibit is right over here. If we continue through this path, we're going to eventually reach this door, which leads to the ring-tailed lemur exhibit. Ring-tailed lemurs are lemurs with ringed tails, and they're super strange creatures with really weird sounding calls, but they are very curious creatures that socialize with a lot of other animals and can be seen even socializing with humans. Socializing, quote unquote, of course. They also are very playful with their surroundings, so we built them different houses and toys to play with. Our next exhibit is right next door, pun intended, because we're actually going through a door. This exhibit is the sloth exhibit. Sloths are very slow animals, even though in here you can see that's bouncing up and down in astonishing speeds. But they are one of the slowest animals in the world, and they absolutely love to climb trees. These strange creatures are even stranger because they seem to crawl on the ground, and they're more tree creatures rather than being some sort of slug thing on the ground. But either way, they're very cute as well. Our next exhibit is right through here. If we take this bubble elevator up, we're going to end up in this bridge. From this bridge we can look at the next animal on the list, which is the tufted deer. Tufted deer is actually are actually a very strange combination of animals. Please don't interrupt. They seem to be a combination between a boar and a deer and a dog. They're very strange creatures. Like you can see that white one, but if we go over here we can see other colors as well. They're also called vampire deer because of their fangs. They live in forested areas as well as in grasslands, so their habitat naturally is this beautiful aspen forest. If we see under the bridge, we can see that we have another exhibit contrasting with the other ones that we have seen. This exhibit, as you can see, is quite arid, and it's because it's for the maned wolves. Maned wolves are famously known for being really smelly creatures, which I guess every creature is, if you really think about it, but we won't go into detail about that. These creatures, as their name suggests, are wolves or dogs, if you want, covered in a thick mane of fur that comes usually in orange tones to blend in with the dry grasslands and savannas that they live in. Our next exhibit is a very similar exhibit because, well, it's basically the same creature in the end, but these are African wild dogs. And yes, they're pretty similar to the main wolf, except that these guys don't have much fur and instead have a more pattern fur with spots to blend in with more dirty and dry areas. For some reason there's also a blue one. We don't really know what changed in evolution to produce this crazy animal, but we still have it here. As you can see by the particles, you can see that this guy has a lot of fleas. Anyways, our next exhibit, as you might have heard by the extremely loud sniffs, is the giant anteater, which is this strange bear skunk creature that has a really long face, specifically designed in order to store a very large tongue used to eat ants out of their ant nests. They also have a very good sense of smell, and they can even smell things through the wall. Here we can see how there's a ginormous ant nest, and these creatures are smelling out the ants that are left. The next exhibit is of course a staple exhibit in any zoo, and it's the Emperor Penguin exhibit. Emperor penguins are one of the largest penguins ever recorded in the history of Earth. They're called emperor penguins, and mainly because of their markings on their face, as well as for being the biggest currently living penguin, as far as I know. They also seem to get stuck, which definitely didn't happen before. We'll just blame it on that they are very fat. Although they should be fine. They're just lying on the sand. Our next exhibit, if we go past the pumpkin, we can see that is another type of penguin. This penguin is different to the emperor penguin because these are banded penguin. They're reasonably small, and as their name suggests, they have a band of black coloring across their chest as well as on their heads. These tiny creatures are considerably better at swimming because, one, as you can see, they're not stuck in the water, and two, we have a history of having to save so many emperor penguins from drowning, which it's not our fault, it's the fault of the penguins. Anyways, these penguins don't live that much in the cold and can be seen in beaches as well as warmer areas of the world. Our next exhibit can be seen if we go through this tunnel over here. This is a not that well known exhibit, but these are the pumpkin toadlets. Pumpkin toadlets are extremely tiny frogs. They're so small that they can't even jump well. Because, well, they don't have enough balance to be able to jump well, and so as you can see, they get stuck often. Pumpkin toadlets, as their name suggests, are also colored orange, and instead of having tadpoles, they have absolutely minuscule frogs. Which doesn't make much sense, but it's very cute. even the particles of dirt are bigger than the frogs. Anyways, now we have a few more exhibits left, but all of these exhibits are quite high up in the sky, literally. So, we have built a train station in order to get there more easily, so let's ride the train station. In here we can see that the train station is extremely good due to these ratings. There seems to be a lot of people waiting for the train to move, so let's activate the train ourselves. So if we go this way, we can get out of the train station at the top of the mountain. Up here at the top of the mountain we can see that it's a totally different environment to the redwood that we have seen below. In here, this is a very tropical area, and thus we have a ton of animals up here, specifically birds, that would enjoy this type of climate. If we go past the flower beds and over through this bridge, we're going to arrive at the botanical garden, where we can see that we have the biodomes. If we go through the door, we're going to see the bird biodomes. In here we have an enormous amount of birds. Specifically, we have here bald eagles, eclectus, hornbills. We've also got poicephalus parrots, and other birds that we are going to see along the way. We've also got rosellas, ringneck parrots, grey parrots, mohos, keas, kakarikis, budgerigars, and many others. Somehow we've also got an extinct bird, the moho, which used to be a songbird from Hawaiian Islands, but we found it somewhere in some islands and somehow it's here, but sadly in real life it is extinct, as far as I know. If we move on, we can reach the second biodome where we will see more birds, such as those macaws, Our next exhibit is right past the botanical garden. So, if we go over here, we will be able to see the butterfly exhibit. Butterflies don't actually have anything to do with their names. I know, crazy. Because they're not flies that are covered in butter. They're actually, basically squiggly things that have evolved to have wings, which come in very pretty colors, but nobody knows why they're named butterflies. That doesn't even make much sense. Anyways, these are the butterflies, and they live pretty much anywhere, and that's why their exhibit has a lot of variation with flowers in different biomes. Our final exhibit is the honeybee and normal bee exhibit. Similar to the polar bears, we have two different species of bees, ones that are fatter and ones that are not fat. But the ones that are not fat seem to have disappeared completely, and the fat ones seem to be very silly. Honeybees are known among the world for being somewhat dangerous, where they're actually not that dangerous if you don't bother them, and they produce honey, of course, as you can see on their beehives. Nobody knows how they're entering the beehive though, because they're even bigger than the flowers that they're pollinating, so nobody knows. And that is the complete zoo tour of all of the exhibits. Now the last thing that we will do is check out the house for one last time. And this is the final location from the tour of the Redwood Zoo. The place where everything started. So, for the last time, let's teleport back to spawn and see what is waiting next for us. I hope that you really enjoyed the series as much as I did, and thank you so much for spending all this time next to me making this amazing zoo that I thought I would never complete, and in the end I did. And I would like to thank you all for being here with me, as well as for supporting this series as well as my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next side of things. So let's go back to spawn. What the? Where am I?